Be yourself, everyone else is already taken. Always forgive your enemies, nothing annoys them so much. To live is the rarest thing in the world. Most people exist, that is all. I am so clever that sometimes I don't understand a single word of what I am saying. We are all in the gutter, but some of us are looking at the stars. If one cannot enjoy reading a book over and over again, there is no use in reading it at all. It is what you read, when you don't have to, that determines what you will be when you can't help it. The books that the world calls immoral are books that show the world its own shame. The truth is rarely pure and never simple. Yes, I am a dreamer. For a dreamer is one who can only find his way by moonlight, and his punishment is that he sees the dawn before the rest of the world. You can never be overdressed or overeducated. Never love anyone who treats you like you're ordinary. Most people are other people. Their thoughts are someone else's opinions, their lives a mimicry, their passions a quotation. A good friend will always stab you in the front. Women are meant to be loved, not to be understood. You will always be fond of me. I represent to you all the sins you never had the courage to commit. I don't want to go to heaven. None of my friends are there. Anyone who lives within their means suffers from a lack of imagination. Every saint has a past, and every sinner has a future. I am not young enough to know everything. Experience is merely the name men gave to their mistakes. A thing is not necessarily true because a man dies for it. Hearts are made to be broken. You don't love someone for their looks, or their clothes, or for their fancy car, but because they sing a song only you can hear. The very essence of romance is uncertainty. Man is least himself when he talks in his own person. Give him a mask, and he will tell you the truth. Those who find ugly meanings in beautiful things are corrupt without being charming. This is a fault. Those who find beautiful meanings in beautiful things are the cultivated. For these there is hope. I never travel without my diary. One should always have something sensational to read in the train. With freedom, flowers, books, and the moon, who could not be perfectly happy? Death must be so beautiful. To lie in the soft brown earth, with the grasses waving above one's head, and listen to silence. To have no yesterday and no tomorrow. To forget time, to forgive life, to be at peace. Some cause happiness wherever they go, others whenever they go. To define is to limit. I don't want to be at the mercy of my emotions. I want to use them, to enjoy them, and to dominate them. Nowadays, people know the price of everything and the value of nothing. Education is an admirable thing, but it is well to remember from time to time that nothing that is worth knowing can be taught. I can resist anything except temptation. A cynic is a man who knows the price of everything and the value of nothing. All women become like their mothers. That is their tragedy. No man does, and that is his. The only way to get rid of temptation is to yield to it. To love oneself is the beginning of a lifelong romance. It is absurd to divide people into good and bad. People are either charming or tedious. There is only one thing in the world worse than being talked about, and that is not being talked about. I am too fond of reading books to care to write them. Quotation is a serviceable substitute for wit. Behind every exquisite thing that existed, there was something tragic. Who, being loved, is poor? Crying is for plain women. Pretty women go shopping. I have the simplest tastes. I am always satisfied with the best. Children begin by loving their parents. As they grow older, they judge them. Sometimes they forgive them. Selfishness is not living as one wishes to live, it is asking others to live as one wishes to live. When one is in love, one always begins by deceiving oneself, and one always ends by deceiving others. That is what the world calls a romance. I have nothing to declare except my genius. We are each our own devil, and we make this world our hell. Anybody can sympathize with the sufferings of a friend, but it requires a very fine nature to sympathize with a friend's success. A man's face is his autobiography. A woman's face is her work of fiction. Fashion is a form of ugliness, so intolerable that we have to alter it every 6 months. Whenever people agree with me, I always feel I must be wrong. No good deed goes unpunished. After a good dinner, one can forgive anybody, even one's own relations. Morality is simply the attitude we adopt towards people we personally dislike. Life is far too important a thing ever to talk seriously about. The world is a stage and the play is badly cast. Art is the only serious thing in the world. And the artist is the only person who is never serious. We live in an age when unnecessary things are our only necessities. I choose my friends for their good looks, my acquaintances for their good characters, and my enemies for their good intellects. Every woman is a rebel. Crying is for plain women. Pretty women go shopping. Some things are more precious because they don't last long. Only dull people are brilliant at breakfast. To get back my youth, I would do anything in the world except take exercise, get up early, or be respectable. A bore is someone who deprives you of solitude without providing you with company. Humanity takes itself too seriously. It is the world's original sin. If the caveman had known how to laugh, history would have been different. Live the wonderful life that is in you. Let nothing be lost upon you. Be always searching for new sensations. Be afraid of nothing. Nowadays most people die of a sort of creeping common sense and discover when it is too late that the only things one never regrets are one's mistakes. Nothing can cure the soul but the senses. Just as nothing can cure the senses but the soul. There are only 2 kinds of people who are really fascinating. People who know absolutely everything and people who know absolutely nothing. How can a woman be expected to be happy with a man who insists on treating her as if she were a perfectly normal human being? Everything in moderation, including moderation. If you are not long, I will wait for you all my life. Every portrait that is painted with feeling is a portrait of the artist, not of the sitter.